Hello and welcome to Virtual Intelligence Solutions tutorial. Who are we? We are a tech company that is into web development, mobile application development, graphics design, digital marketing, cyber security, and artificial intelligence model development. We deal with all these, we have all these skills and we use it to solve problems and create softwares and applications that solve real life problems. So we decided that we would love to teach people how to do some things, like create things based on skills. We would teach them skills we have. We decided that we would teach people things we know. We teach them all how to do most of all the things we know, and we post it on YouTube for people to see and learn from it and create something that would solve life problem and solve more problem and make life more easier. So who am I? I am Imran, a student in Nikki State University. I'm a skills are web development, application development, system analyst, and AI model development. The courses I would take on this channel are web development and design with API, application programming interface, development and consumption. I'll also be part of the developers that would explain and teach application development and also artificial intelligence model development. So things to note on the channel is this. On this channel, we are going to have two separate things. One, there are folders, there are sections, video sections that we name them. For example, Flutter beginner tutorials. These are for beginners. Anyone that is just coming into Flutter. These are for beginners. Also, we have Adobe Photoshop beginner tutorial, artificial intelligence model creation beginner tutorial, and there's also another section we call them Flutter tips and tricks. These are not for beginners. These videos we'll put in that section are videos people requested for on our groups. So if anybody requests that we should create something, for example, how to do background fetch with API, etc., those videos that will be in that section are not for beginners. They are for people that already understand basic of the certain course, maybe for Photoshop or for Adobe Illustrator, for API consumption, web development. Those videos in that section are for people that understand the basic. So for people that are into beginner, just look for tutorials with beginner and hashtag beginner in it, and we'll be giving it 1, 2, 3 based on how we are releasing it, like part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 until we end the tutorial. So why Flutter? The application development that we will take is we are going to use Flutter as the tools to use that we'll use in creating application. We are going to teach full tutorial on Flutter, how to use Flutter to create applications and develop it and launch it on Google Play and iOS store. We are not here to waste anybody's time. We are not going to talk about things that are not that useful for beginners. We are just going to go straight and teach you so that within few weeks you are already good and already creating applications that people would use, and as you move on you start upgrading to advanced level and start learning some things that you need at that time and going back to improve the applications that I've already built before. So Flutter is built by Google and is very efficient and good, because back in the days when we are creating application, for example, if a client asks us that we should develop an application, if a client asks us that we should develop an application that has to do that, an application, maybe for example a food store application, like an application where people can order for food. So the then what we do is that the company will hire two developers, one an iOS developer, the person that understands Swift language, and two, a Java developer, another person that understands um uh Android, creating of application with Android using Java or Kotlin. So once they are done building the application, the two developers they will explain all the structures to the two developers, and the two developers will build it based on the language that they know. But now Flutter came and solved the problem of hiring two developers. With Flutter, if you develop an application with Flutter, automatically Flutter will convert the two applications into the two operating system, I mean Android and iOS. So you see how efficient and good the system, the tool how efficient and good the tool is, and how good it will be if you should know this tool, and you should know how to use it efficiently and effectively. It saves time, it saves money, and a lot of other things, and it's very easy to learn and understand. So things you need in this Flutter tutorial that we are going to take. In this tutorial, we will take it from basic, from scratch to the end. So you need a laptop or a desktop that has connection to electricity at least 16 hours a day. You need internet connection, strong internet connection for start. At start, you first need an internet connection that is strong. But as you move on, I don't know why I say. As you move on, you can, if the internet connection is not fast, it's still manageable. But first, when you are doing the installation of the Flutter and all the tools needed, you need strong internet connection. Third is time. You need time. You need to devote time to this, and don't worry, within few weeks we will teach you all the basic things you need, and we won't waste much of your time and go straight to the point, so that there's not much time, so everybody will get what you want and just go. And next thing you need is, you should not give up, because there are cases whereby you face bugs that are very annoying. That's something you should know from scratch. There's some bugs that will take 2 days, 3 days. Don't worry, we'll teach you steps to take when you're solving bugs. And you need to test daily. Like, you need to create something, at least if it's just a screen, daily, so that you get used to the language. Also, you need to have aim of what you want to achieve. Like, you want to be an expert in Flutter, and you want to be very good using Flutter language. How the tutorial is structured: first, we will talk about basic programming. Like, we first you start from the scratch of programming. Here I'll use that language because Flutter uses that language to run all its backend, to create all the logic of the application. So we would learn that language. I'll use that language as the basic to teach the basic programming, whereby we'll talk about the if statement, if else statement, the arrays, and everything that has to do with basic programming. This section of the tutorial is necessary for people that do not know anything about programming. You need to watch it and understand everything, and I'm assuring you that we're going to take it in a very simple way that I will explain in a very simple way so that you understand. The next thing is beginning Flutter, whereby we install the Flutter and you set up the Flutter on your system, and we test that everything is working perfectly before we now move on to the stateless widget, stateful widget, where we explain how states are being managed in application. Then we'll talk about layout. This is where you build different screens, and you design it the way you want, but just laying out how all the layout works, like row, column, how to stack things together. Then we'll move on to navigation, whereby you navigate from one screen to another. Then we'll move on to common used widgets. There are a lot of widgets, but not all of them are being used. Not all of them. And it's not that they are not useful, they are useful, but it's not in all cases that they are useful. But we are going to talk about the commonly used widgets that you would use frequently in your application. Then we'll move on to gesture detection, whereby if you click on a button. If you tap on something, it gives out some, it reacts, it perform an action. We move on to form components, whereby we talk about forms, creating of input boxes and buttons. Then we'll move on to database, where we use API and Firebase, and then we teach you how to handle errors when you are facing errors in your application. So how to get help when you are coding. I mean, even if you are not coding Flutter, in any program language that we're going to teach, how to get help is first to search Google for the help for the problem you have. If you can't find solution, you can post your question on Stack Overflow. There are a lot of developers there that will help you. Then you can watch video on YouTube, and also you can join our WhatsApp group that will put the link in the description of the video. In every video that we create, we'll put the description and the link there, so you can ask us there. But we're not guaranteeing you that we would always reply constantly. I will reply, but we will try to always reply you and get back to you on any problem, and we try to solve your problem either by connecting to your system, remotely controlling your system, and so on like that. So make sure you join, or just if you know the first three is okay for you, then no problem joining the group. And thank you so much for watching the video, and make sure you are ready for the next part that we will release very soon. Subscribe to get notified when we post a new video, and also make sure you follow us on our social media. All the links to social media will be dropped in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day.